Michael TODD may be one of the strongest arm wrestlers in the world as of today. But on Engin's recent podcast, Vitali Klitsyn mentioned something which should worry the monster just a little bit. So at 51 years of age, Michael TODD is looking like this while weighing over 296 pounds or over 134 kilos. That has to be the best shape of his life, and not only the physique is great, but the gym lifts are awesome too. I think he's hitting PRs on every single lift in the gym. At least the arm wrestling specific lifts, he's crushing all of them. 72.6 kilos in this wrist cupping exercise. Cupping used to be Michael's weakness, especially in the last couple of years because he was always losing his wrist. But let's see if he has overcome that problem now or not. Pronation engaged back pressure 118 kilos. To be honest, it looks like a lat drag or standing rowing kind of motion without bending forward, but still pulling that much weight with one arm is awesome. I'm not sure how much pronation is being engaged here, but even if this has very low level of pronation engagement, it still isn't easier than what it would be if there was no pronation engaged. In fact, it must be a little bit more difficult than that. That's what makes this lift really awesome, really impressive. 60 kilos on the riser exercise. I'm not sure if Hermes Gasparini is doing more than that, but that has to be at least top 3 in the world as of now. We are of course not talking about Leevon Saginashvili, but I think if we combine all of these arm wrestling specific lifts, Michael may be the second strongest guy in the world as of today. And why? Mostly because of the lift that we are going to talk about now. 84 kilos on the pronation lift, which Devon Larratt made famous. Nobody has lifted that much. Leevon made 75 kilos look pretty easy, and we have seen 80 kilos on the same exercise, but just a photo of that. But Leevon later mentioned that that weight also wasn't too difficult for him. So probably Leevon can get more than 85 kilos, but nobody has done that until now. I remember when Larry, Leevon and Michael were in the Dubai gym testing their max lifts in arm wrestling specific exercises. Michael looked terrible then. I know we were comparing him with Leevon, which is kind of unfair for anyone, but I don't think he's going to look that bad now. He may be really close to Leevon, except for some exercises like maybe the back pressure and cupping. Rest all, he can match him pretty well. But back then, even the lightweight guys were thinking that maybe we can also match Michael TODD in all of these lifts. It looked like Michael was trying to convince himself that it doesn't matter because he has a king's move, but it has to matter. I mean, he's lifting that much now, so is he really strong? I said in the past that until I see good hand control and good beautiful king's move from Michael TODD, I'm not going to believe that he is back. He showed all of that in the Kamil Jablonski match, and yet I'm not happy with that. Why? Because even the weaker version of Michael TODD would have gained hand control against Kamil. He would have been in a good king's move against Kamil. So unless I see a similar move against guys like Gennady Quikvinia, or maybe even the guys that Michael has faced in the past, let's say Frank Lamparelli, until then I'm not willing to believe that Michael is fully back into his shape where he challenged Andrei Pushkar and Denis Siplenkov pretty well. Vitali Klitsyn mentioned that he pulled Gennady Quikvinia. It was kind of an after pull. I'm not sure which after pull or which event they are talking about because I've not seen the footage. But Vitali mentioned that Gennady is feeling really strong and Michael TODD is going to lose that match. Well, Vitali must be able to take Gennady's wrist. If he couldn't, then Michael TODD is in big trouble. If Vitali was able to take Gennady's wrist and he still couldn't finish, then that's kind of understandable. Gennady has a good flop press, he has a good stopping power. I think most of the arm wrestling fans may agree that Vitali at this point can be stronger than Michael, or at least he can be ranked higher than Michael TODD. But if he's facing some trouble against Gennady, he didn't really say that he couldn't beat him, but if he's feeling that Gennady is really strong, then Michael is also going to feel that strength. Grigory Zarov said that Gennady is his favorite arm wrestler, and he also thinks that Gennady is going to win this match. So this match leads to the path to Leevon Saginashvili. Hermes Gasparini is standing between that, but both of these must win this match. Otherwise, the dream of becoming, forget about #1 guy in the world, the dream of becoming even a top 3 guy in the world is basically over for both of these guys if they lose this match. Gennady is not too old, so maybe he has some more chances left. But Michael Todd, despite being in the best shape of his life, he's still 51. I mean, there has to be a point where he'll stop improving. And I think he does not have too much time left. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe.